Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope you all are having a good morning on this day after Thanksgiving. No matter what station of life you find yourself in, you are blessed and you have something to be thankful for. And I'm not going to share too much right now, but I can definitely say that those words ring true to me, truer to me now more than at any time in my life, because there are a lot of things going on right now that I very well could complain about, but I'm not going to, because I'm going to try. I'm going to do more than try. I'm going to succeed at simply being thankful for what I do have rather than thinking about what I don't have or what I wish I had. I just wanted to share some words with you of encouragement this morning. Many of you who know me well know that outside of about 6 years of my life, between my undergraduate years and when I first got married, from about age 20 to 26, outside of about those 6 years, I have struggled mightily my entire life with my weight. And so it's very easy for me to gain weight on a regular basis if I'm not careful. Well, I can tell you without even stepping on the scale that I definitely gained some kind of weight yesterday, because when I went to the gym this morning, oh man, my walk, I walk 3 miles a day, 6 days a week. So that's how I start my mornings every day. This morning, I could barely get through that walk, and I started to feel it. I mean, feel it in about 19 minutes. And at about 19 minutes, I didn't even know if I was going to be able to make it to 30 minutes, let alone make it the whole hour. You know, my goal, when I saw 19 minutes and I felt how my heart felt, how my heart was beating almost outside my chest, and feeling how my legs were feeling, my goal was just to make it to 30 minutes, and then I would stop. But as I got closer to 30 minutes, you know what? I said, you know what? When I get to 30 minutes, I don't want to get off. Maybe I'll just hang on to the to the handlebars of the treadmill after I get to 30 minutes. Cheat a little bit, but still, keep moving. But as I got closer, as I hit that 30-minute mark and went past it, you know what I said? You know what? I don't need the handlebars. I'm just gonna keep on going and see how long I can go. And if I need to get off, what I'll do is I'll just pause the treadmill. Maybe I'll stop, catch my breath for a couple minutes, and keep going. Even though that's not what I normally do, I was gonna do it today just to be able to get that time in, because consistency is the key, and I wanted to stay consistent in spite of how I felt. But as I got closer and closer to that 60-minute mark, as I got to 35, 40, 45 minutes, 50 minutes, I'm not going to necessarily say that I got stronger as the time went on, but what I will say is that I never did have to pause. I never did get off. I never did have to hang on to the treadmill handlebars. I never did have to do any of that. I just kept going, and I was able to make it the full hour, the full 3.3 miles that I do every morning, typically. Even though this was a harder morning for me than it had been in several months, I was able to make it through by the grace of God. Like I said, at 19 minutes, I wanted to get off. I felt like I felt like my heart was beating outside of my chest at 19 minutes. And so for me to go another 41, for me, was very significant. Sometimes we don't know our strength until we are forced to find out how much strength we have, until we are forced to use all of it. You don't know how strong you are until the situation forces you to flex your muscles. And I just want to encourage somebody with that today, because you need to hear that you are strong enough, that you are good enough, that you are pretty enough, that you are smart enough, that you are good enough, and that you have enough. You are enough. You have everything you need right now to do everything that God has called you to do. Again, you have everything you need right now to do everything that God has called you to do. I just want to encourage you with that this morning. You know, the problem is that, you know, a lot of times we don't, you know, we say that, you know, we want to lean on God's strength, and we say, we say that we want to trust the Lord with all of our heart and lean not unto our own understanding. And while that is true, you know, and while we want to depend on God's strength and God's knowledge and not our own, at the same time, God has empowered us to do all that we can do in our own power, to control everything that we can control. And once we are faithful over that which He has given us to do, then He could come in. God can come in and provide the increase. And so a lot of times we forget about that when we go through things in this life that that test our level of strength. You know, we want to cry out to God, and there's nothing wrong with crying out to God, but we want to, you know, we get in a situation where, you know, we just want God to handle it instead of allowing God to work His plan in us, and in order for us to figure out exactly what it is that we need to be doing and how we need to handle the situation. And we learn more about ourselves by God allowing us to go through the situation and seeing how strong we really are, than for God to just come in and do something. Because the more we learn about the situation and the more strength that we use before God comes in, the more glory God can get out of the situation. I am convinced of that. And so I just pray that this blesses you this morning. You are stronger than you think. You are closer than you think to greatness. And even with everything going on in my life right now, I know that I can still encourage somebody, and let somebody know that you are closer than you've ever been in your life to destiny, to what it is that you see in your mind, to what God spoke to you years ago, and what God spoke into you before you were formed in your mother's womb. So this is your boy. Have a blessed day. If you haven't done any Black Friday shopping yet, be easy. Don't let anybody trample over you. Don't trample over anybody. And y'all just have a blessed day. And tomorrow, you know, Michigan football, we're going to go ahead and get this win. Go blue, and be blessed.